it
You
might be
can't
that.
play it. You can't play it both ways. You can't play it both
Why?
ways.
Why? What do you mean play it both ways?
Meaning that, okay, either you look like you're solid or you're not. That's what I'm saying.
But plenty of couples look like they solid 1 minute, and then the
And they be
sometimes
horrible. They
they
be a
Correct.
hot ass
You're
mess.
absolutely
yes,
right. I agree with
exactly.
you. That's why I'm saying that. Even why do you think Hillary Clinton went with Bill because she wants to run for president again? She went to represent the Clinton name. She went to
No, she
represent the
won't
husband.
because she wants to run for. And here's the thing. And
You
so
think
here's
she
the
want to
thing.
run
All
again?
these no, but here's the thing. All these preservation. So the pretty picture does not mean pretty life.
I agree.
So and here's the thing though. So Michelle's not a public image person. We just talked about that. How
Hmm.
her trying to be in the public was exhausting for her. She's very much a real ass chick. She is Southside Michelle Robinson, okay? So yeah, Laura. My husband's a drunk. My girls are on cocaine. You know, because them Bush girls was doing all the things when they were in office, right? She played the part.
And you know what?
Hillary did what
Some
she
of them
had to
were
do.
groomed
Michelle is a
for
real
that.
chick, so she played the part for 8 years. Now she's like,
Some of
I
the
gotta be me,
some
whatever
of
that
these some of these
is.
first ladies were groomed for that. They were politicians'
Most of them
wives,
were.
being the Southern belles, and they played. They a lot of them married from families who had daughters who were groomed for that
Not
It's all
to
all.
be
strategic.
Not
who.
all.
Yeah, not all, but a
Not all.
lot of them come from that dynamic where they
Mhm.
are their aspiration is to be the wife of a powerful man, and they and their families support that whole vision of you are going to be the wife of so and so then you need to do this. So that is
And
their
that
whole
within itself,
identity. That's
yes,
their whole
that part.
identity. The biggest part of their identity is being this person's wife, and being and showing up and fulfilling this role as that person's wife. A lot of them did not have much outside identity
Hillary
than
Clinton
that.
is the
Southside
exact
Michelle
opposite of
wasn't.
that, though. Hillary Clinton is purely
Yeah,
the
but we
exact
don't know
opposite.
why she came. You see, here's the thing. There's so many assumptions here. You cannot assume that she came because she was there to represent the Clinton name and
Yeah,
she
but we
wanted to
can't assume
protect
that
their
we
legacy.
can't assume that she wasn't. We're
You
all
can't,
making
exactly.
assumptions.
But you can't assume. But you can't say either that Michelle is ruining the Obama legacy because she just wasn't. She
I'm
felt
not
like she
saying
wasn't
she's
cut out for that
ruining the
purpose,
legacy.
or that
I'm not
she's
saying she's
saying. That's
ruining the
exactly what you
legacy.
said.
What I'm
That's
saying is
exactly
that
what you said.
what I'm saying is that she's putting herself above the legacy is what I'm saying. Now,
How?
we can
How is
argue
she
about
putting herself above the legacy because she didn't want to come to a couple of events?
Yeah, the legacy is the legacy.
It's
She's putting
it's
herself up.
you are
She's putting
wholly
herself
discounting
first.
I'm
Yeah.
not listen, I'm
everything that
not
she
I am not
did
I am not
prior to
here's the
now.
thing. I am not the only person making this up. This is
Who
this
can?
is
It
this
doesn't
is
matter.
This no, it does matter because this is not some one fringe podcaster saying something. This has been covered by
And
major
me
news
too.
stations on the left and the right. Everybody's
Because
been
they love
talking about,
drama, and they
huh?
love the drama and the controversy.
No,
That's
And
why.
no one's talking about it anymore. They're talking about it in the moment. And the thing is with Michelle Obama, yes, she put herself first. Heaven forbid a woman over 60 put herself first. And that's what happens. We get older and we realize all the little minuscule bullshit that we sacrifice ourselves for don't matter. In the end, it is us, our
everybody
mental
makes
health, and
sacrifices.
everybody. Yes, but everybody stops making sacrifice. That's why old people are so like we think they're like prickly and curmudgeonly and just like mean, but that's really them being their authentic
They
selves. So
excel
she's at
and they
that age
say
where she's
whatever
like,
is
I
on their
give
mind.
zero, right?
I
No
got you.
one's talking. What people are talking about now are these fucking tariffs, okay? And what will life look like in a week from
Sure,
now when everything's
sure.
$1 million, right? No one cares. In the moment, oh my God, Michelle's not here. No one cares anymore because our new
I'm
cycle is like
I'm
this.
not
And
saying
here's
everybody
what
I'm not saying everybody cares. I'm not
but,
making it a bigger
but
deal.
what
What
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
is that no one cares right now. In the moment, a lot of people did. I'm with you. A lot of people like, oh, Michelle not here. To be honest, I was. I'm like, oh. I got it. I was with my sister because I know that here it takes a lot to be involved in all that stuff. She had to say no. But, and I watched the inauguration because I just was in that mode where I was watching all things
I
news and
couldn't
Trump.
watch that
And
bullshit.
it did do something to me in the moment. However, the feeling I felt is not as big as the feeling I felt for my sister who said no to preserve herself because I understand that too, right?
Correct.
I
That's exactly the
understand
point.
what Michelle had to be going through. And I also understand how hard it is to say no. And even whether they're divorcing or not, I guarantee you, even let's say they are divorcing, even walking out the door, I guarantee you 500% that she would still do whatever she needs to do to cover his black ass, right? And I
And
remember
why
when I
is
was
it
walking out of a
that
door,
as
I
soon
was
as
covering asses. So you still
and
be down because for that person, there's still love there, there's respect, and you want them to be okay. So there's something where she could not do it. And just understand if she
why
didn't
is
do it,
it
it's
is
not out
that
of
as soon
selfishness, it's
as
out of self preservation.
and why is it as
No,
soon as we don't want to take one for the team, now all of a sudden we ruining legacies and we there's something
She
wrong with
took
us.
500 for the
Let
team.
me
I
tell you
guarantee
something.
you.
There's
so wait
just
a minute,
because
wait a
all
minute.
them other first ladies decided that they wanted to take one for the team. Nobody was speculating about how
Nobody's done that
strong
though.
their
That's what I'm
marriages
saying.
were.
So nobody.
You know
If
what I'm
we can
saying?
find, I'll
I
challenge
gotta double
people.
check.
If we can find, and I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. I try to find it. If we can find another situation like that, then and I'm not saying the inauguration is the be all end all. It's kind of the culmination
It's
of
gonna
what
take
of what things
a
look like.
slow and a fine tooth comb because what I'm saying is that it's probably happened before and nobody even cared or paid attention. Because typically, knowing who is Jimmy Carter's first lady, who was we know Ronald Reagan's first lady, who is Ford's first lady. Like people don't even pay
I'm willing.
attention to the first
I'm
freaking
willing to
lady.
bet you. So here's the thing. I'm willing to bet you because this is
Here's
how
what I'm willing to
this.
bet you. I
I
bet
bet you
you
nobody
many of
paid
those
attention.
women. I bet you many of those women were just profoundly unhappy.
In
I'm
some
That's
and
not
willing
the
to
some.
point. That's not the point.
But I would
No,
also bet
I
that
know it's not
people
the.
didn't
I
pay
know it's not the
attention.
point
You're
because the
you're
point
you're
is that
you're
People weren't paying
those
attention.
women, didn't speak up,
you don't
and
know that.
so you
This is the
feel
problem.
people revere those
This is
women
the
who did
problem.
not speak
What
up,
you're
and
saying.
they
Go
look
ahead.
at them more highly because they're like, oh, those women are so supportive and they're really standing
This is
behind their man
precisely why I wanted to talk about this. This is precisely why I
they
want to
didn't say
talk
anything.
about this. You know why I want to talk about this is because I think that we have to, because this is the thing. We got to get away from, and I'm not saying Michelle Obama has the right to make her choice, but we got to get away from automatically making women victims and unhappy. This doesn't make any sense to assume that these women are unhappy. Why would they need to be unhappy? Why would be the reason? Because they were married to the president? Because they
It's
have a life. Wait,
that's not
listen.
easy life. That's not an
What?
easy life.
Nothing's an
Being a
easy life
president's
though.
wife.
Being poor is not an easy life. I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. How can everything make a woman unhappy? If you're poor and you have nothing and your husband can't provide from you, you're unhappy. If your husband is ambitious enough to go from mayor, senator, whatever, congressman, alderman to president, why are you unhappy? Why? Because anything that a man is supposed to do that's going to take any achievement is going to take time and sacrifice. Why would a woman automatically be unhappy is my question. So the idea of that is the no listen, the idea, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to do this, because your idea of that is you automatically think a woman. So when can a woman be happy? Where and when can a woman be happy then?
Wow.
I'm asking you.
Wow. It's like who am I talking to right now? I don't even
Because you're
recognize you right now.
assuming.
This is
You're
like
assuming
crazy.
you because no, listen, let me say, you just said that you guarantee that all those other first ladies weren't happy based on
Not
what?
all of them. I said some of them women were probably
You said a
unhappy.
lot of them were unhappy
Michelle,
based on
they
what?
probably were. Michelle Obama probably wasn't the only one.
But I'm
And
asking
besides,
you, no, I'm
why?
asking you based
Because
on
it's a
what?
huge invasive sacrifice into your life because you're expected to just be his arm piece. It is so hard for you to do anything of your own, and you are subject to so much scrutiny that it's mentally and emotionally difficult for some people that they can't handle that. That's why some of these women rather just they give up on any kind of
Okay.
career or anything that they're doing for themselves to just
So
stand there and smile and try to keep the spotlight off of them.
let me shoot that down for a
Why?
minute because not all again, and Sabina just made a perfect point. Who was Jimmy Carter's first? Every first ladies have they don't have the obligation, excuse me, they have the choice to be very visible or not visible. They have an opportunity to use it to
Michelle didn't have that choice. She had to be visible.
that's not true. That's not true. That's what she chose to do. Michelle
She
Obama.
chose to.
Of course. Why she chose? Listen, Michelle Obama chose initiatives that she was behind because we all know she's
She
educated. She's not a
chose
dummy.
initiative she's behind, but people paid attention because she was the first black
Yes,
one.
yes, but
So everyone chooses initiatives they're behind,
let's
but
not.
what the attention that is paid to it is dependent. No one before every other people paid a little attention to Laura. Nancy Reagan had the just say no thing before Nancy. Who
But wait, you're pivoting the
knows?
argument though. I'm not saying that people aren't paying attention. What I'm saying is that we can't assume that she had to do anything. The thing is that first ladies choose their visibility. So there was different visibility for those first ladies. So I'm saying that I believe Michelle chose things that she wanted to do. She chose them prior, or excuse me, post White House. She did tours. They get paid, whatever, $3 million, $2 million to speak every engagement. It's like she's
She
being
wrote some
subjected to all this
books.
stuff. They became extremely enriched. She's able to do her
Yeah,
book. She was able to do speeches at $2 million or $500,000, whatever it is, up every speaking. I mean, let's get real here now. We're trying to
and
turn her into
continuing
some
the
big.
legacy of the Obamas.
No, no,
Oh,
no. I'm
so
saying
you're
that.
saying after he left the White House, she continued to build on the legacy by holding
Well,
speaking
wait,
engagements and
wait.
books and writing books.
No, she was able to build on it. She was able to build her own. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. She was able to build her. She was able to build on her own name, right? Based on being the first. She was able
That
to
doesn't have
benefit.
to. That doesn't have the legacy though.
I'm not
Her
saying
name
it
is
doesn't have the
Michelle Obama.
legacy. What I'm saying is that she wasn't doing all that. She wasn't doing all that after the White House. After the White House, she went on her speaking engagements, continued to do what she do, and I ain't mad at it. Right? She enriched herself personally as well. You right? Now fast forward 8 years. Right? Now we're in 2025, and now it's like, oh, all these things and how bad it was, and I didn't like Barack for 10 years, and blah blah blah. Now we're doing that. So I'm saying that I'm not mad.
She's always done that. The
She's Yes,
Michelle Obama never glamorized her position, her role, or her marriage.
you're right.
Other
I
people
agree.
did. She always kept it a buck 50.
Why are we
Okay.
redoing it? Why are we redoing it now though? Why are we talking about it now though?
She's not redoing it. She is perpetually has been realistic about her marriage, about who she was. And to be honest, I don't really keep up with stuff. I used to watch Wendy Williams keep up with gossip, but she ain't been inactive for like years. She's been inactive for years. But as far as Michelle Obama, she is not that chick. She's always been a buck 50, even
Yes,
as the first lady. She's
I
like,
agree.
this was not my first choice. I am
Got
not
you.
a public person, but she did it for Barack. And she always said that. She did all the things for Barack. Now,
Mhm.
after he left office, she wrote a book. She did speaking
She did some
engagements.
things for
She did the
herself, and
thing.
she's entitled to
She,
that.
yes,
Yes, she
she
should. I ain't
rode
mad at
the
it.
wave. But everything she said, there's nothing new that she has said. And not once has she ever disrespected her husband or her marriage. Even if she's in the midst of it, and I still think they're in the middle of a divorce, she has not disrespected him or their marriage. She's been transparent about how difficult it has been to be in the White House and to be in such a public persona. She has
Got you.
always done that. This is nothing new because to be honest, I've never seen the podcast. I don't know anything about it. I know she's got a podcast with her brother. That's about it. I don't know the content of it, but the stuff you're saying, this is not new to me because I've followed Michelle Obama throughout the years. So, no, this is nothing new. This is nothing new.